Da, da, da. Alright, hang on one sec. Forgot my mic on. Yep. Right, hang on. I need to get the stuff on this screen so I can see you all. I couldn't see you yesterday. Yeah. Right. Help. One. How's it going, everyone? Is everyone good? Woo! Right, today we're going to be talking about predictions, and I think this would be a very good, intelligent way of discussing what is happening right now. Hopefully, this camera is really close. Right, hopefully you'll be able to hear me really clearly and cleanly. I'm going to go through my little list. Where's my list? My list is right here. Right, so predictions of graphics cards. This is what I think Nvidia is going to be doing. I think they're going to bring out a 3050, a 3050 Ti, a 3060, a 3060 Ti, a 3070, a 3070 Ti, a 3080, a 3080 Ti, a 3090, and a 3090 Ultra, not Super, Ultra. And I think the reason why I'm saying this is because obviously this is predictions of what was going on. But if you look at it, 3050 all the way to 3090 Ultra means that they covered the whole market of everyone wanting a graphics card to be able to do some gaming or some content creation. Now, if you look at it like the 30, if we look at what are we going? So the 3070 is going to be faster than, no, the 3080, well, 3070, yeah, the 3070 is going to be faster than the 2080 Ti. So if we go back, 3060 Ti overclocked slightly, you can reach those performances of a 2080 Ti, but I have less, obviously, memory. But the memory doesn't mean everything. It's all about, it's like, I learnt this when I was overclocking GPUs. It's not all about the memory. It's about what the computer demands to make it run faster and that. But it doesn't really actually utilises it. It's kind of like a bit fake, like marketing really, but I don't know, certain times it will work and certain times it won't. It's like, obviously for CUDA cores, you need CUDA cores. If I was using Adobe and rendering, it's really good for that. It's just, it makes, the more CUDA cores, the faster it is, depending on how fast your computer is and not bottlenecking and stuff. We're also going to be talking about bottlenecking as well, of having a balanced PC, because technically, in my eyes, I'm running a 2080 Ti and a 30X as well, and it's kind of old hat now. So if I was using a 1090K processor, which would probably be the fastest gaming CPU, then that would make more sense using NVMe. And if Intel had PCI-4 and it was the same speed as what it is on AMD, then it would be like really, really freaking fast. But if you're thinking about it, if I went to go and buy a graphics card that was technically a 3080, it just does not make any sense right now on top of like the stuff that I've got. And I only just built this computer not that long ago. It doesn't make sense. But it also doesn't make sense taking all that money and spend all that money to go and buy something new. But we'll just go through all the predictions and we're going to talk about it. Hey, Danelle, Ray's, how you doing? Hey, Bruce, Fist. Well, I can actually see my actual things anyway. It is a tongue twister with the new GPUs. They are. That is. Right, so we're going to go through all my predictions and we're going to come back and talk about this all again. With the many cards, it has everyone in every price bracket. So what I mean by this as a prediction, 3050 could obviously support people still going into 1080p to 1440p, which would have more frame rates per second, and it can support the hertz. Like, so if we were going to talk about hertz, there's so much to talk about. But if I was talking about hertz, 144 hertz would be the minimum of going in. So forget that your 80, or is it 75, your 80, your 120, it'll be 144 hertz will be the minimum. And then going through that, you'll be able to get rid of 1080p, but people that want to still use 1080p and a little bit more clever could use that. And I think as well, the 3090 Ultra and the 3090 are going to be potential SLI cards, which people want to show how much money they've got and how much performance they can get. But I think the 3090 is going to be a really good, pleasurable card that you can have two of them together, and it's going to be the best performance we've ever seen from a card. And this is not going to be all about Nvidia, it's going to be about AMD, and it's going to be about CPUs and all that sort of stuff. So don't get all nuts with me. So with the cards, everyone in every price bracket. So that means that for gaming at 1080p, you can use the 3050, the 3050 Ti, and the 3060 and the 3060 Ti. If they bring one out, I think that if it does come out, it means that that will be the new 1440p 2K, and they're going to definitely get rid of the 1080p. Then the 3070 and the 3070 Ti is going to be gaming at the highest. So you can get 240 hertz, because if you think about it like this, if you're a pro gamer, you have to have real high frame rates per second to play FPS, to be able to counteract and obviously shoot the enemy first. It's common sense. The frame rate buffer moves slower with less frame rates and less hertz. Plus you need a balanced computer to do that. I might have to break this up into like a few videos over a few days, because it's just going to be real long. But let me just go through everything quickly. So we're going to go into the next subject. So when AMD comes out, they will have a new graphics card, and I think that will be what was it? Cards at Nvidia, there will be no point at 1080p. So I reckon Nvidia, when AMD bring out their new graphics cards, they will support still 1080p, but 1080p is going to be kind of pushed behind us. And I think the new gaming session, the new minimum will be 1440p. If you look at it in the industry now, we're talking about 8K. And 8K is not even a thing on TV, but I don't even watch TV. So this is not really a thing for the older generation, the boomers. I think this is more for people, well, I can't even say that, because the older generation, the ones that are in film in Hollywood, even though Netflix, I feel, is better than Hollywood, and Hollywood's a little bit old and outdated, it's still the prime at the end of the day. And if you think about it like this, 8K, they always film in 8K and then crop down, but they've got 16K cameras. So if we've got all of that, why would we still be on 1080p? We could have a new thing where we can start at 1440p. So anyway, that would be no point in the 1080p. 4K gaming, 6K gaming, 8K gaming, not quite there yet with 8K. If you think about it, the minimum that you need to obviously play on 1080p 60 frames per second, is that going to change when you obviously double up and go to 1440p 2K? With obviously pixels, would you need slightly more frames per second? I don't think it would matter. And then obviously gaming at 4K, that's going to be a thing that we're going to definitely be able to do at 60 frame rates per second. I reckon that's going to be able to happen. Plus we've got new monitors that go at 360, so that'd be good for CSGO, PUBG, Fortnite, what else have we got? Warzone, I guess. It's just all games that have got real fast moving features and stuff, and it'll be very good for that. What about racing car games? That'd be quite good as well. I don't know though. So yeah, 8K I don't think we'll be quite there yet. I think that we'll be able to game in 8K, but we won't be able to have a pleasure with everything on Ultra. The difference between a pro gamer and obviously a gamer will have like all the settings higher, have all the lovely colours and sRGBs going on, and everything just all on full, whereas a pro gamer will turn it down, maybe spread their screen so they can make like heads bigger so they can aim better and obviously kill the enemy. That's the difference of what it is with a pro gamer. A pro gamer will use and lower the frequency of they'll lower the ultra settings. They rather have more FPS rather than having it all fancy and stretched screen, and also have more hertz, so it's just more easy on the eyes and stuff. And they'll change the color balance as well to what me and you are used to. And that means is that the color ratio is like, you want to be able to, it's like on gaming monitors or professional monitors, they've got equalization, so it's like a black equalizer where you can see the enemy, plus the colors are slightly different. They have more color vibrance, but in a way it doesn't give you a headache, but it makes it pop more and everything like that. So hey Archie, how you doing? So basically that's what I think. So next prediction would be, but if we want better gaming performance. The 3090 starting price point, SLI mode, I always said that. Better results than we've seen before, and be able to handle 8K. So this is what I'm trying to say is I think that there'll be two 3090s that come out. You'll be able to have SLI will be open, and then I reckon that you'll be able to connect them together to be able to obviously game at 8K. But if you're looking at the graphics cards right now at MRSP, so like £1,500, because when I bought the 2080 Ti, I think it cost me £1,500 or £1,600. And if you look at it like this, the 3080 it's just ridiculous how cheap it is, and how cheap the 37. Well, the 3080 is not cheap, but it's cheaper than the 2080 Ti when it first came out, but it was no competition. But anyway, I'm talking about two double SLIs connected together for the graphics card, and now you're talking about £3,000 just for that graphics card. Then you're going to need a motherboard that's big enough to support this. The NVMe is going to be the minimum, rather than having SSD, so the data can transfer backwards and forwards, because you can always need data to be able to stay somewhere. RAM, I think is going to be needed to be spec'd up a little bit. Always on Intel, it's normally faster, that's better. AMD's come down a little bit, but I think that's going to be different in the future as well. Yeah, and I also think if we're going to be having dual graphics cards at 8K, I think that price point is also going to be coming over to content creation as well as AI and maybe machine learning, because those graphics cards are going to be so fast at that end. It's going to be coming over, and you know, like you've got the desktop workstation computers, it's going to be creeping over. Then that means that are we either catching that up or not catching that up? But I think that we will be, because gamers want more. But another thing as well, developers use the best sort of graphics cards to obviously develop the games, and they use the best sort of computers, best software, and they got all these skills to develop the game, and then other people just playing them in 1080p or even 4K but unplayable frame rates. It's pretty annoying from a developer's point of view, but everything's kind of different like that. I'm sure everything's going to change now. I'm sure that developers are going to start to actually utilize more than quad core now, and start to use more like 8 cores and 16 cores for a CPU to obviously game at. People used to think gaming is not really... People are not really bothered about gaming, but gaming is a big industry. Like, gaming and esports is so big, and it's so in its infant like stages, that it's near enough on football sort of money. Like, these people are getting more and more and more paid. You can see just by people being on Twitch, like Ninja and obviously Dr. Respect and all of these people, Pokemon, they all started to get loads of money, but that is nothing compared to what money is like footballers get when they get paid, like, I don't know, like 100 million to like 2 million a year or whatever they get paid. They get paid ridiculous amount of money, and esports is going forward. It's a bit like if I became a pro gamer and I was playing games and stuff like that, and if I was playing a game, you always wanted to see me win. I always had to win matches to obviously for you to support me. It's a bit like having a football team or a rugby team or even baseball. If you're in America, you want to support that team that always wins. Even though some people don't support the team that always wins, they support the team that they want, that's in their country or in the area or whatever, you know, their hometown. Right, where are we now? We are... AMD will have a card that will be able to compete, which will be faster than the 3080. I believe that AMD have something up their sleeve, and it's going to be just as fast as the 3090 or a little bit faster. So what's going to happen is AMD is going to bring out graphics cards, because they have graphics cards that are lower to the end. If you look at Nvidia basically have their graphics cards coming out now, 3080 and then 3090. Is it 30? Yeah. So it's going backwards. It's going like they're releasing the 3080 and the 3090, then the 3070. Right? So I think they're going to lead the 3090 Ultra, or it could be a Super, but I think it'll be called an Ultra. Going back to the GTX 88, which they literally ran the floor. They were the most powerfulest graphics card company. They smashed it. But I'm thinking that they're going to dibble and dabble into the lower end market with 3050, 3050 Ti, 3060, 3060 Ti. Every time AMD is going to bring out a graphics card, because they normally try to combat the lower end of the gaming market, That's what I think they're going to drop. A 3050 and a 3050 Ti, a 3060, 3060 Ti. If you look at the prices, we could literally see what Nvidia is going to do or planning to do in my head. So if a 3090 is going to be, what's that, £1,500, and then we go to 3080. So 3080 is where people can not really afford. 3080 Ti is definitely not what people could afford, and 3090 is definitely 100% not people can afford. At 3090 Ultra, it's only going to be to the 1%. If you look at most people that are playing games, they play games at 1080p, and there's only a few people that play games with more expensive graphics cards, but I think this is going to be more clear cut right now. So if we go 3090 at 1500, 3080 Ti at 1200, and then 3080 Ti, sorry, at 1200. 3080 is going to be £999, isn't it? Something like that. Then you got 3070 Ti, then you got 3070, which comes down to £500. So you can go from 3080 600, then 3070. What time? How much for that? 500. 3060 Ti, that's going to be 450, 475. 3060, 400, and 3050 Ti could be like 300, 350, and 3050 is going to probably be like 300 or 299. They do like the numbers to make it look good in marketing, 299, so it makes you look like you're paying £200, but you're actually paying 300. That's how I think we can overturn it. They can even drop that price down slightly a little bit more, and then they'll be in competition with AMD in the low end. But I think AMD are going to be able to combat all of that because they got their new CPUs. Now think about it. Just think about it for a second. Why the F would AMD come out with CPUs that are so powerful, but they wouldn't have a graphics card that would be able to compete with the actual new CPUs, their 4000 series? It wouldn't make any sense. It means it'll be a bottleneck. If it's a bottleneck, and people would be buying AMD for the CPUs and going Nvidia for graphics cards, AMD are not going to want to do that, and Nvidia ain't going to want to do that, and Intel ain't going to want to do that. It's just going to be nuts. So I think they have got a card that's going to be faster. It's going to fit between the 3080 and 3070. This is what we're going to hear about in October. Because look, AMD are just sitting back. They're not even worried. They're sitting back, and like Nvidia's got all these graphics cards, got leaked benchmarks. But they're not. We don't know if they're really true or anything like that, because it could be leaked from Nvidia. Or someone else is getting paid. You saw Intel, they paid a reviewer to do things, and it was completely wrong. But yeah, anyway, so where are we going to now? So, oh yeah, and I also think the 3000 series cards will be able to clock better on Nvidia cards and maybe on a Kingpin card, but not on third-party cards. I think Nvidia are going to be overruling the third-party manufacturers. It's going to be simply just looking at that graphics card, you're like, wow, how the hell did they make a graphics card like that that looks like it's going to be actually cool? I cannot imagine it's going to be hot to be able to get those temps. The 2080 Ti was kind of a flop, but not a flop. And if you look at it, and also, there's another thing that gets me right in my head right here. The 2080 Ti is going in competition against the 3080, where the 3080 needs to go against the 2080 or the 2080 Super. But I don't know. I need to look at the results when that comes out. I want to see like the benchmarks and see like how well it's going to be done. But I got a feeling that graphics card is going to run cool, because it's something of a cool design, and it's just so better. Like the 2080 Ti and all the RTX range, like, I just loved the way it looked. It looks excellent, but I didn't like the green light on there. I think they should have put some sort of RGB on it that it can match all your other, like your case and your components inside. But I really think that this graphics card is going to be like really good. And if it compares to the 2080 Ti, it doesn't really matter. That means we've got big leaps, and that means that hopefully the 3090 is going to be kind of the same price for performance. And that's pretty crazy, actually. I paid £1,600 for my graphics card, 2080 Ti, for a slightly overclocked edition by Asus. And then we've got a 3080, and the 3080 is like not... It can beat the 2080 Ti, and then you've got the 3070 that can, well, hopefully beat the 2080 Ti, but it's only £500. Or is it, no, it's 599, I think it is. I can't remember. But anyway, let's go. Let's crack on. AMD graphics cards will run cooler as well. I think they will run cooler because they're going to be using the slight better silicone on there. And I think also, going back to Nvidia, I think they might even use like 2080 Ti's towards the end of like the 3050s or the 3050s. I reckon there's going to be something in there about that. It's got to be. Right, what I was going to say. Right, so... yeah, I think there's going to be a war on pricing between AMD and Nvidia. So watch this space. From now all the way to next year, there's going to be war on these graphics cards, dropping and price gouging just slightly a little bit, because Nvidia does not do that at all. They've got their high-end cards. This is why I think there's going to be a 3090 Ultra, because someone wants to be crowned like for gaming. Obviously, Nvidia is quite light years ahead with AI and machine learning and all that, which we'll get to, but AMD, I don't know. Like when I went to an Acer event, when the first Ryzen came out, and they had that on the laptop, I was so blown away. It was faster than Intel and Nvidia. I was blown away. And I don't even know if I've got this in a link in the description down with the video, but you need to check it out. It was absolutely nuts. But anyway, oh yeah, what I was saying as well, I want to know how the third-party coolers are going to be compared to Nvidia's new graphics 30 series lineup. I don't think they're going to be able to compete about keeping it cool, and I think it's going to be such a mission to be able to get that graphics card at those right prices. But then again, in October, I definitely suggest that you wait, because if you look at it now, as I said earlier, there's no point getting a 30 series card. There's two reasons for this. Number one, 2080 Ti is going to be fast even 2080 Super is fast enough. But if you want a game at 4K with all ultra settings, then obviously you've got to jump into the 30 series. But if you want it to be more stable and more balanced, then you have to go higher. So you're going to have to use that new AMD CPUs. You're going to have to use the best NVMe's, so like PCI-4 motherboards and stuff like that. You're going to have a better cooling system. Even though I don't think it's going to affect, I don't think the graphics card of the 30 series is going to affect that much, and I don't think AMD, I think AMD are going to, I think they learnt their lesson from last time from their CPUs running really hot. You know, hi Sam, how you doing? I think they've learnt their lessons, because at the end of the day, you do not want a CPU or graphics card running hot, because no one wants to buy it. They're going to move on to something else. And I think we're going to get more performance and more overclockability from the video graphics cards. Right, hang on. So I've written this all down. So I've got, because I wouldn't remember all of this. It'll be all mumble jumble. People that had 2080 Ti will be happy in some cases that the 3070 will not be able to do exactly what you've heard completely. So if you heard about leaked benchmarks and stuff like that, I think the 3070 is not going to be, in certain ways it hasn't got as much well, anyway, the memory doesn't mean too much, but I don't think it's going to be that perfect. And I don't think frame rates per second, if you are all about the frame rates per second, then it does count. But if you're talking like 10, 15, 20 frame rates per second, 20 frame rates per second is definitely a boost, but anything lower than that, you're not going to really notice, especially over really 60. It'll run smoother, but making it smoother runs with obviously the hertz and the refresh rate of how quick your monitor is. And if you're going to be buying all of this, then you're might as well just upgrade everything. This is why I'm saying to hold off until October. See what AMD's bringing out and see what Nvidia's getting. And when you see benchmarks, don't just go with one benchmark from one person that you've seen online. The silicone could be really good in their graphics card. And at the end of the day, Nvidia is a business, AMD is a business, and they need to be able to market their products to get it out the fastest. So what you should do is look at a range of people that you trust and then compare the results of the frame rates per second. Because what will happen is, if you go to buy a graphics card and they say it's going to be like, you can run at like 8K, 60 frame rates per second, and you go to put it in and it's like 54, then it's a lie, isn't it? Or you're going to feel pretty upset. So would I. But if it can actually outperform what everyone's saying, then that's good. But marketing never works that way. They always push it forward to make sure that it looks better than what it is. So you can never trust Nvidia, you can never trust AMD, never trust Intel, because it's all about marketing. They're a business at the end of the day. But you just have to wait until the results come out. If you're really wanting an actual PC being built up, I can spec one for you, but it's pointless because look, if I spec'd a couple of weeks ago for a 2080 Ti, at the end of the day, it would have been wrong because you would have lost so much money. It'd be pathetic. I hope new motherboards will come out. I'm really hoping that new motherboards come out. But this is what I'm going to predict. But I'm just going through this list. Actually, let's talk about the motherboards. I hope that Intel bring out PCI 4. Because if they bring out PCI 4 and they bring out, say, like, what are they on, 10 nanometer? 10 nanometer they're probably going down to. They need to be getting... To be honest with you, saying that though, AMD had 10 nanometer as well, or 12 nanometer, I can't remember. And they had the same CPU, but Intel could, like, literally squeeze out more performance. But anyway, that's going to get all very complex. But what I'm trying to say is that AMD is... I think they're going to be literally coming in and smashing everything. And I'm not an Nvidia or AMD or Intel fan. I'm a fan of everyone. I just want the best price and the best performance. But I don't really want to keep shelling out loads of money all the time, because this is the problem. Intel came out with about 4 different CPUs this year alone. I'm sure they did. It's crazy. Even AMD came out with a few, but... doesn't matter. They came away from their crappy, overheated CPUs. But there's a lot of things I want to talk about anyway. I'm going to talk about really quickly about PSUs. No, actually, forget that. We'll talk about afterwards. Let me just do this in line. So 2080 AMD CPUs will be extremely fast and run cooler to be able to take the reign from Intel for overclocking further. Like, we know about Intel, if they've got higher clock speeds, they normally run better on software. But software is taking the side with AMD, and it's kind of, they're working together and coding it properly so it runs really well with their CPU. Like a few years back, AMD weren't even that close. They were trying to put their foot in every door they could, and they started to do that. They started to open people's eyes. But it shows that Nvidia is kind of getting a bit scared. They're really getting their guns out for big releases of graphics cards. I think this is going to be one of the biggest things that happening in the year of 2020. Obviously 2020 everything's happened anyway, so I don't know what to say about that. But in computer history, it's going to be really, really big. I think everyone's going to be really quite happy. Right. PCI 4 is going to be a must for data to be capable of keeping up with new graphics cards and AMD CPUs. And what I'm saying is AMD have already gone, do you know what, let's put PCI 4 in, and we've got NVMe's, and I know, and I've used it. When I'm rendering on different software programs, I can see the difference in speed. And it's like the faster you can go with different compatibilities of different files. So say that I'm taking pictures, thumbnails, what else can we do? Codes for all programs, video formats in different 4K, 8K, 6K, HD, H.265, H.264, what else we got, AVI files, all different types of files and different data. It increases, goes up and down, up and down, up and down. When I actually get my hands on all of this stuff, I'm going to actually make sure I have everything warm and then test it, rather than, I'm going to do a cold boot test as well, just to see how things going on, because some people want to buy the most expensive computers and just literally have it and then turn it off. Then turn it back on, turn it back off. Me, I have my computers on 24/7 because I custom built it. I've got 20 years experience of how to maintain the computers to their efficient levels and balance them out. But anyway, I think there's going to be a war on pricing, which I've already said. We're going to take the reins from Intel, because Intel are the king of having higher clock speeds. I think AMD are going to be the king for this. PCI 4, we already talked about that. Intel needs to bring that to the table. New motherboards, more USB ports, because people are working from home. I need more ports to use for USBs. Some people want multi-camera setup to do video production and all kinds of stuff, you know. Where are we? So AMD will show that they're light years ahead of Nvidia and Intel. So this launch, I think they're going to show that they're light years ahead of Intel and Nvidia. And that's all because in the gaming world, they're going to be showing, I reckon their clock speeds on their new 4000 series are going to be able to be clocked at probably 6 gigahertz. Rather than the 5 gigahertz like Intel has, which is, well, actually 5.2 now, I think it is. I think you're going to have real good overclocking with these CPUs and they're going to run cooler. That's what I think. I think the industry is going to be, and hopefully the PSUs are going to be swapped around and changed as well. And I'm going to talk about that as well because I really need to get that off my chest. That really actually infuriates me. AMD will prove this in the next, in the year 21. So from now to the year 21, because of winning all, they're going to win all the game platform with this war. And I think they're going to bring something to the table that will match Nvidia, but Nvidia is still going to be flying ahead with AI and obviously machine learning. And then AMD is going to obviously try to do that in 21, I think, or maybe just a little bit before that. 21, they're going to come out machine and AI. And this is what we're going to be using as well. So I think the computer industry is going to be switched up a little bit because it's kind of boring at the moment, just building the same computers. It just seems like that from years ago. If you look at it now, we've got RGB this, RGB that, just to make your computer look nice. That means that people are fitting in and the market is selling RGBs. Remember, like when you've got a motherboard, if it said gaming on it, bang, you'll buy it. It's all about gaming. And if it's got RGB on it, you would buy it. But some people don't like RGB. But if you look at it like this, you get all kinds of different walks of life buying these computers and motherboards and that say this. And then you've got RGB that can fit into your living room or into your bedroom or your bathroom or whatever. You can have it really looking nice. And that's what this is what marketing is about. Even though RGB puts the price up really expensively. But yeah. AMD will obviously prove this in the year 21 because of winning the gaming. We'll also have something to bring to the table to Nvidia, AI and machine learning. Everyone will be shocked because it'll be more affordable because there will be competition. Like the moment, Nvidia has dropped down the price. Think about it. Like their graphics cards have got that much performance, if it's true, and they're selling it at such price gouging. Anyway, we'll see by the benchmarks when they actually come out. There will be people complaining as 4K will be far too expensive and people will jump over to TVs for gaming other than pros, which will need 24, 24.5 and 25 inches for professional monitors for pro gaming. And the difference is that when you're playing first-person shoot 'em ups, if you play it on a TV, because you look at TVs now, they're just really big, but TVs are going a little bit downhill, but still very expensive with the quad LED this and HDR this, and it actually don't even hear about the nits on it. You don't really have a bright. Yeah, anyway, that'll probably come soon anyway. I don't know about having really powerful nits on the TV and stuff, but the colour ratio, they're also about the dark blacks, the really vibrant colours that really like pop, and they basically look fake. But anyway, I'm thinking that we're going to be jumping over to the TVs because the 4K monitors are going to be far too expensive. There's going to be 4K, 6K and 8K monitors coming out, and obviously every time a new monitor comes out, it's very expensive. I saw a vid on the new 3080 GPU and their 12p. It looks janky. That's true. That's what happens. It looks janky. That's what it's going to be. Obviously, you can buy custom cables. You should be able to do that. But anyway, when it comes down to going over to TVs, I think there's going to be some TVs that are going to be able to run 144 hertz. Now, hear this. The reason that I'm predicting this is because the PlayStation and the Xbox are going to be coming out. Now, the Xbox and PlayStation, I reckon they're going to have the graphics cards are going to be the equivalent of an RTX, maybe 2070, 2080, 2080 Super on both of them. Because PlayStation and Xbox normally have graphics cards and NVMe's or SSDs or whatever, hard drives that are near enough the same. Yeah, that's what I predict. I think it's going to be about that, but they're going to be having software that will be able to make it faster. It's a bit like, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I've got Android. Look, I've got whatever phone that is, a 5G Ultra, whatever, right? So if you look at it like this, Apple does have software that they put on their phones and tablets, and it runs smooth. It's just fast, really quick. Now with AMD, not AMD. Now with Android has loads of different versions. Some of them work janky, some of them don't, but they need faster CPU, more RAM, and all that sort of stuff. So if you think about it like this, Android and Apple are kind of like what's going to be going on with the PlayStation and Xbox market. It's going to be running a little bit better, but you're going to have updates, and then they're going to get better. Same way with graphics cards and GPUs and all that sort of stuff. It's going to run better because every time you buy these sort of things, they're going to be not very good straight away. But I think AMD are going to be ready because they weren't ready last time. They were not ready. They were not ready for their drivers. The drivers were crap. The CPUs were overheating. The motherboards were not even the third-party people were ready for the manufacturers of motherboards. They weren't even ready. But AMD are going to be ready, and they're going to smash it. They really are. But anyway, talking about the TVs, I think we're going to go over there because of the 144 hertz, and it's going to have HDR and all this sort of stuff. It's going to be more of a clearer, more pleasurable gaming. But the pros will stick to all the monitors that get sponsored and all that sort of stuff, and maybe be able to afford that sort of stuff. Because I think 4K monitors for gaming, that's going to be expensive. We're going to be looking at, I think we're looking at about £2,000. Like, you can get a professional monitor for obviously work-wise, and that's normally about £1,000 upwards. You can go like £8,000, whatever, for a 4K monitor for workflow and all this sort of stuff. But 4K monitor, it's going to have slightly a few different tweaks and stuff. They're going to make their profits and all that sort of stuff. This is what I was going to say. 4K monitors will be far more expensive, and people will jump over to TVs for gaming and the other pros and all that sort of stuff. But I think, in a way, that computers are going to be, because they're going to be run quieter, they're not going to be noisy, because they don't have to dissipate heat so quickly out of the case. So it's going to run cooler, and it's not going to be as loud. They're going to have better joypads, better controllers, better connection to your TV. TV's going to improve more. They're going to make more money. The TV's going to start at 2,500, I reckon, with starting from 144 hertz. And then they're going to drop a 240 hertz, which is going to bump that price up, then drop down, and they're going to be in competition with the monitors, because monitors used to be crap back then, and now monitors and gaming monitors, say like TN panels, IPS, you're going to hardly see. Do you know what? I think there should be a new technology, TN panel and IPS, built into one plane of the screen. So when you're gaming professionally, you can have your TN panel, yeah, and you can switch it. And you press a button, switch it, and it works with IPS, and then you can watch your YouTube, your Netflix, Amazon Prime, or whatever, and that would be pretty sick. What about interactive displays? I think they're reasonable price. Yeah, that could be. They're 4K as well. It depends though. It just all depends on what people are willing to afford. Now, if you look at it now, since we had lockdown, we had all of this stuff to do with PCs. PCs were, who cares about PCs? We don't need PCs. I'm going to just work from, shush! You can just use this and just get on with your work, and that'll be it. But now people worked from at home and started gaming, started doing this. They actually started to fall in love with PCs. This is what I'm saying. PlayStation, Xbox are going to be like, PlayStation, Xbox, as soon as you buy it, it's gone out of date straight away. Just look at it like that. When you get a PlayStation Xbox that's running 144 Hz, some people are going to be happy, some people are going to be not happy because you can't upgrade. They should make Xbox and PlayStation upgradable, but then it makes it a PC then. So technically that's another story. We won't even go on about that. But yeah, monitors, TV, I reckon is going to be coming in 144 Hz and 240 Hz, and it's going to be blisteringly expensive. 2,500 is going to be like from a monitor that's probably going to, TV, that's going to probably be about 32 to 38, which is far too big to really game with, unless you're gaming on like playing football or like John Madden, if that's even a thing, or like Fall Guys. I don't know, like those games would be alright, but for monitors they need to be smaller. Like for FPS, I've played with a screen that was 32 inches, and it hurt my eyes, gave me a headache. So I don't. And when I went to the major events for CS:GO, every professional was playing at 24.5 inches of screen, and it was perfect. But it's a TN panel. Obviously, IPS is going to overtake TN, but I think they should convert them. Anyway, as I was saying about the controllers, I think they're going to make better controllers, better connection for your computers, so you don't have that lag, and it's more of a pleasurable experience. That's what I think is going to happen. I think monitors are going to be too expensive, and they're going to jump over to TVs. And I believe this could happen because there's more gamers in the world than pro gamers. It's made easy. If it's made easy, like PlayStation, Xbox, people will buy a PC over Xbox and PlayStation, and there's going to be more technology going for PCs. It just will outdo an Xbox and PlayStation. Xbox and PlayStation is just easy. Just plug it in, sit down, lie down, play a game. Yeah? But PCs are going to be just smashing it. I definitely think that's going to happen. There's so much to offer as well. But Xbox and PlayStation, is it possible to make a PlayStation Xbox at that price? I'm not too sure whether it's going to be possible, because an Xbox and PlayStation is so compressed with the software and all the stuff that's going into it. It's going to be so hard. That's going to be another conversation for another day. Just imagine when you no, I'm not going to talk about it. I was going to talk about like sending a text message, but yeah, forget that. Where we are, PC cases, like the computer industry needs to change a little bit. PC cases will need to change and need to have better technology. This is a great idea, right, for technology. Think about it. Just think about it for 1 second, right? Cases are so boring, and they start from like basically nothing all the way to like a really expensive case that can be electronic. Yeah, they're pretty good. But what about the normal consumers that want an actual case? What about having a case that actually has temperature maps inside the case, one by the chokes, the MOSFETs, the heat sinks, one one by the RAM. The RAM doesn't really make much of a difference because it doesn't really run too hot. But I'm guessing the more memory modules are put into these things, and the more complicated this system is for software and computers, the more hotter I think it will get. Graphics cards, we should have a module near there as well. So all you need to do is just have a look, and you can see the temperatures of what you're getting. What about having fan controls that you can control and give more cool air over the graphics cards or over the memory if the computer's balanced and it's been built right? That means that we're going to have better performance from a computer. Sometimes people think a computer should be really cold, but remember, we've got AIO that doesn't have a fan, that's not really assisting with anything else, but we've got a CPU air cooler that does, but it's more balanced. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day as well, and I don't want to get this stream too long. But anyway, what I'm thinking is new technology. PSUs, we're back. Right, so I said about this earlier. PSUs need to have a flipping readout on the side. So obviously Antec partnered up with Seasonic, I think it was, and it had a little readout, but it wasn't a really good readout. It needs to be a good readout. People, what's the point of buying CPUs and all these graphics cards that can overclock, and no one understands how to overclock properly? They don't know how to balance their system to get overclocked properly and keep it quiet and keep it cool at the same time. There's different types of silicone in memory, SSDs, NVMe's, and graphics cards. There's different silicones in them, and motherboard partners need to put in better copper, better cooling solutions on their motherboards as well to keep everything cool. It's just like, it really makes my mind blow up when I see this. Yes, I do get excited for new technology, but when I put it in and I play it and it's not doing me any justice, it's just like RGB is all in my cases. I'm hardly even seeing it. So RGB puts a really big premium on your system. Anyway, sod that. So this is coming to the end now because I'm just going all in at the moment. It's just I'm getting all hot and sweaty. But yeah, cases need to change. Motherboards need to change. NVMe is changed. That's actually fast enough, and we can get faster and faster. So that's not too bad. CPUs are getting better and faster and cooler. That's good. Software and drivers need to be better on that. Motherboard partners should be ready. Motherboards need to be better, as I said about the cooling solution. And what else? Computers just need better technology. It's so boring. Anyway, As I was saying about the PSU readouts, so if I started to overclock on a on the computer, I would love. Do you know the little cutouts that we used to have on PC cases? We don't seem to have them anymore on the Stroud. It would be nice to just have a nice readout on all PCU manufacturers. So you like have a computer and it tells you how much voltage you're using. Not just how much voltage you're using, how much memory is the voltage you're using, what rails that you're using, is how much is it running idle, when you start to overclock and stuff like that. Why have we not got this shit? It's so annoying. Alright, so what else we've got? RTX 2080 Ti, 2080 Super, 2080, RTX 2070, RTX, have we got RTX 2070 Super? I can't remember. RTX 2060 Super, I think we got. None of those cards were ready for RTX, and we paid a premium for nothing. RTX now is kind of ready, but I think it's the software that works. But there's kind of marketing behind that. The DLSS as well, that upscales. So you remember like when you remember when monitors, what was it? TVs that came out was like 4K. 4K is 409060 by 2160, I think it is. And now 4K is 3840 by 2160. Which is technically not 4K, but it is 4 times resolution 1080p, but it's not true 4K. It's the same thing with this upscaling of pixels for gaming. So just literally hold off till October. Do me that favor, hold off till October. Xbox, it's got to be faster. Xbox and PlayStation, it's got to be faster than 2080 Ti or even a 2080 Super. It's got to be as fast as that, or it's going to be so old and outdated, it's not even going to be worth purchasing, even though they can squeeze out a little bit of performance. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. I would rather have a quiet, efficient case than bright, loud ones. Very true. It's so true. I think the RTX 2080 Dual will be at least for me for a long time. What do you mean, 2080 Dual... 2080 dual? What, two 2080 duals of graphics cards? Have a long time no see. Need a new motherboard for RTX 3000 series. Yes, listen, do not... Right, go, hang on, go on. Quick. Right, so if you're thinking about buying the 30 series, do not buy the 30 series. Do not buy any Nvidia graphics cards right now. Wait until October. Wait until AMD comes out. Because what's going to happen is people that have got RTX 2080 Ti's, put it in the new, try it in the 1090Ks. Yeah, overclock them if you can. Actually, don't overclock them. Just put them in there and use NVMe's. Try the new AMD 3050X or whatever. Try it with PCI 4. Try it with new NVMe's that are much faster, that will be able to handle that sort of spec and speed. Make sure your computer's balanced. You go into the BIOS, sort the curve out, make sure the fans are breathing in the computer and literally negative and positive air is all controlled properly. If you've got one fan that's blowing too much, it can definitely just not... You know, if you just want to squeeze out that little bit of performance, that's what you got to do. It depends though, especially if you're overclocking. If you've got like a more cheaper Core i5 and RX, not RX, what's it called? If you've got the Series 5 by AMD, yeah, you can run, as long as it's like a mediocre CPU, you can literally keep that nice and cool. But when you go to like more top end, it obviously runs more heat and more voltage. And if you overclock, then it needs more voltage, so it's going to be more heat. So you're going to need to go in the bus and sort that curve out. Anyway, all right, I think I'm done talking because I'm literally going into one here. Nvidia will do artificial, what's that? Sarcity for cooler design, not for chips, therefore they will charge us more for MSRP for false accusations hold up to 2021, like February maybe then. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. From now to the end of February is where you're going to see everything happening. But even though you wait until October and they go, AMD is really powerful, really fast or whatever, you need to wait a little bit longer because you got to think of the drivers need to be sufficient. I know AMD are going to probably be ready, but still, Why buy it in its infant stage? Oh, it depends. If you like tinkering around with computer components, that's the whole point, I guess. You can do that. For the people, wait until October. Do not buy your computers now. Try your 2080 Ti. If you're going to upgrade, keep the graphics card. Try using the new components that are out now and try it that way. If you're AMD head, wait for the 4000 series and also wait for the AMD graphics cards to come out. It's really hard because I'm always excited, but I'm telling you, the computers that we've got at the moment are underperforming and bottlenecking the 2080 Ti. This is for 2080 Ti people out there. It's definitely bottlenecking. There's no doubt about it. I've literally pushed my computer and I noticed that 2080 Ti can go a little bit faster, but it needs that new technology. But the video ain't going to say this because they're going to sell the graphics cards and then they'll tell you afterwards. But yeah, anyway. What's up, Hoggy? Right, I'm going now. So if you want to ask me some questions right now because I'm literally going in the next 2 minutes. So if you want to ask anything, ask me something now. But if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And if you like this sort of content that I'm going to get dirty about all this stuff and you want to add a little bit more depth to what we've been talking about right now, then comment down below, not in this stream, but obviously when it turns into a video, and like, comment and dislike if you dislike it, because it lets me know. I don't care if you dislike my actual content. If you dislike it, that means I know you don't like it, and that means that I need to do something better. At the end of the day, I like to make content that's enjoyable for you guys. So subscribe, and obviously like and dislike and comment down below. And also comment and say, I didn't like this because I didn't agree with whatever. Start a comment. Go down there and start a comment with someone. It gets everything going. Alright? I'm gonna go. Oh, someone's asked me a question. God damn. Ryzen 7 2700X GTX 1060 gigabyte. No matter what, anything above the performance of the new RX 6000 series is useless for me. What do you mean? Ryzen 7 2700X GTX 1060 3GB, no matter what, anything above the performance of the new RX 6000 series is useful. I don't understand. What do you mean? I would love to see how the PC modders will be able to convert that RTX 3000 series into water cooling format. You know what? If I got that graphics card, the 3080 or 3090, I wouldn't take it apart. I'm sweating. I would not take it apart because it's such a beautiful graphics card. Why? Why would you do that? Great videos, man. Keep it up. Nice one. Can you build a RX? What is it? Can I build an RX 3070 Ti build with Ryzen 3900X because I want to build a PC soon? I could do that. It's pretty cheap, to be honest with you. All these new graphics cards and the videos coming out with, except for the 3080 and the 30. Oh, do you know? It's not even called Ti, right? It actually might be called. Is it called Ti? 3080 Ti. No, yeah, it's called Ti, not Ti, right? It's on the table of like being titanium. I always thought it was 3050 Ti. I mean 2060. What is it? What we got? 2080 Ti. We've got a 2070 Ti. I cannot remember. Anyway, who cares? I will do that. When is the RTX 3080 out, mate? It's out in October. In fact, I think it's out tomorrow, isn't it? 2 p.m. UK PM. 2 p.m. UK time, sorry. And 2 p.m. No, 2 something BST as well. That's crazy. Right, I can never get live, mate. And I do watch your videos afterwards. Mad respect. No problem. It's no problem. Do you know why no one knows when I'm actually going live? It's because I just go on live. I come up with these ideas and I just go bang. And I'm just there. I'm going live. Right? I should really have a schedule, but no one actually knows. And I really should do that. I should have done that ages ago. But anyway, it's nice. You made it. It's all good. Peace. No, it's not even peace. This is peace. Do you recommend having double GPUs? Yes, I do. If you've got the money, I do definitely. Because in history, I think Nvidia is going to make history. Even though they're going to be overtaken by AMD, I think they're going to make history. Even AMD could come out and be like, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to go back to what we used to do. I think it was the freaking, what was it, cards? 4,000 cards, where they had them connected in, what was it called? It wasn't called SLI, but it was the same sort of thing. But you could connect like 3 graphics cards up. I had 3 graphics cards connected back then, and it was so expensive. And all I got was a performance. I think the graphics card was in there for show. I spent an extra £400 or £500. All it was in there is for show. It might give me 5% faster frame rates per second. And the second graphics card done like 15%, but the main graphics card done the most. That was really crap. This is why I think in this generation right now, the 3090 or 3090 Ultra is going to be able to get at least 50% more performance, maybe 6%. We are not stupid no more. We want more performance and more raw performance for the price we're going to pay. And if the 3090 Ultra comes out, it's going to be very expensive. But that's why I think Kingpin's going to have a really expensive graphics card. Plus, you probably might be able to buy water blocks on a graphics card already, which makes it... No, do you know what? I wouldn't even do that. I like the Nvidia graphics cards. Do you know what? All the graphic cards that are going to come up for the board partners are not going to be very nice. I don't think they're going to be nice at all. Right. Right. Where can I pre-order? Tomorrow. You'll be able to pre-order tomorrow. Black Friday will be mad. What do you mean Black Friday will be mad? Why? I don't know. It could be mad. No, actually, I don't think it's going to be mad. If we carry on getting locked down in the society in this generation right now, it's going to be harder for manufacturers to be able to make all this stuff. But then it will be really good because loads of... do you know what? There's two things that are really bad about this. Number one, Bitcoin, I think, is coming back slightly. And for this graphics cards, that power, if they're going to be this powerful and this cheap, you're not really going to see any graphics cards at the price that you really want. It's going to be more expensive. Jeez, I just thought about that. RIP wallet in October, definitely. My wallet's going to go down. I don't want to be sent over a graphics card because I still want to be like loyal to you guys and literally buy a graphics card and literally have the same performance, or maybe I'll be lucky to get Silicon Valley and get like really good Silicon Lottery and have like a graphics card perform a little bit more. I like the competition. I don't like the fact that graphics cards can be just given to me or a motherboard or whatever, and it's slightly faster than what the consumer will have. Because say that I don't want to do reviews or do anything to do with that anymore, and I want to go out and buy computers. I'm going to always know that reviewer that I've just watched is going to always have a faster system than what I'm going to have. So it's better just to get it all at the same level. No tweaks, no like extra like cheating bits, just all the same as what we're going to get. If you see reviewers saying, your graphics card's going to be producing roughly about this much, then that's what it should be. Why should it be low for the consumer when we're paying them the money and then the reviewers like us are getting the components for free? Come on, man. It's not even fair. I don't even agree with that. I don't agree with it. Right, Nvidia had SLI and AMD had That's the one! Crossfire. Nice one, Slays. They had Crossfire. Had 3 of those freaking graphics cards with 3 little 22-inch monitors, and the monitors are really expensive. And it didn't even work properly. The software was so annoying. But this is when I used to play racing games on that. But anyway, that's another story for another day. You think a 2080 Super and a 3080 Ti would be insane? What? What do you mean, 7 Destroyed? You think a 2080 Super and a 3080 Ti would be insane? Oh, technically, a 3080 Ti and a 2080 Super. Yeah, because no, you can't compare it. We should not be comparing a 3080 to a 2080 Ti. We should be comparing it to a 3080 to see what the jumps are. But Nvidia takes so long. Why? Nvidia, why didn't you just bring out the graphics cards and go, here you go, here's all your graphics cards. Now pick one you want to buy. They don't do that. They do it very strategically, and that's the way they do it for marketing, to make more money, more profit. Right, so like you want to be positioning yourself in a position of a normal consumer. Yes, I don't want to. I'm a reviewer and I get things for free from like any sort of manufacturer if I really want to. But why is it fair that I have a better graphics card or better NVMe, better hard drive, better CPU, better everything than the actual consumer? I don't see the point of that. It's like me buying a Ferrari and I've just seen it advertised and it does 200 miles per hour, even though we can only do 70 miles an hour in the UK. But in Germany, we can go freaking fast. We can go as fast as we want in Germany, in certain places in Germany anyway. But that's what I'm saying. If it's advertised at that speed, why would you want to have it so it's restricted and it's lower? It's pathetic. It doesn't make no sense. So yes, I would like to position myself as a normal consumer because at the end of the day, it's not fair. I would hate it for myself. I wouldn't want people hating on me because I got something faster than them. I want them to be experiencing the same levels what I am. God, I'm literally trying to go, and all of you lot keep coming in and answer me questions now. What we got? Yourself in position. Thank you for the live chat, mate. I'm going offline. Thank you. Stay safe. Pass on the greetings to family. Oh, thank you. I will do. Right, 3050 Ti. That's a thing. I think it is going to be a thing. It's a prediction, remember? It's a prediction. No, I mean a double GPU, 3080 and a 2060 Super. What? No, I mean a double... No, I don't think double GPUs. 3080 and 2060 Super. No, don't think that. Not at all. Not comparing it. Oh, right, okay. Hi means together. Oh, okay. I get you now, man. Probably not. I actually think they may even not bring out mid-range, and I guarantee you, yeah, if they do not bring out mid-range and lower tier graphics cards, AMD are gonna win all of that gaming like territory and all the low budget end territory. Nvidia are not going to want that. They want any manufacturer as a business wants to take over everything. They don't want to wipe the competition out completely because they need competition, but they don't want to wipe them out. But what it is that they need to have Nvidia. You got to think we had 1050 Ti graphics cards. I think we had 7 series cards, GT and all that sort of stuff. They were crap graphics cards. They were just like onboard graphics cards. That's another thing. Motherboards need to have better graphics. Get rid of the HD like Intel graphics. We need like a minimum of like a 1050 like RTX 3050. That's what we need. We need something that's new that's coming out that's going to be powerful enough for all this sort of stuff. Because obviously we've got 8K and all that. Right, I'm trying to read these comments. They're going too quick for me right now. Oh, right. Okay. I just got confused with the title. No problem. When can you get these cards, bro? You can get one. I think one comes out tomorrow, and then one comes out in a few weeks' time, and the 3090 comes out in October. That definitely comes out in October, and so does AMD as well. Actually, Nvidia is releasing the 3090 before the AMD's 6000 card, I think it's called. I remember I used it to have... Yes! I remember I used to have 9800s, 2s in SLI. Oh my god, that brings back so much memories. I did as well, but I also had... When I first started really getting into like dual setups with graphics cards, it was the 8800 graphics cards. What were they? SLI, and they were Ti as well. I think. No, they were called Ultra, I think. And maybe called Ti as well. Ultra. But anyway, they lasted 1 month. Wow. Right now I'm using a GT 710. Oh my god. That's crazy. Because I have no money, you can find them for them. Right, I'm going now. I'm literally sweating my butt off. Right, go and follow me on all social media platforms if you like to. And as I said, if you want this kind of content, and content around this sort of stuff, just literally leave a comment after the stream and like mad, and dislike. As I said, I don't care if you dislike, because if you dislike, it tells me you don't like this content. I need to move on and make something more appealing. If you like it, then obviously I know it's great, and obviously if you comment, it's even better. But you need to comment as well. Just say like if you like it, or can we talk about this? Can you do this for me, Roger? So you need to say no problems whatsoever, and also share it. Just share it. It's all good. Right, I'm gone anyway. I am gone. Right. It's been your man, Roger D. Thanks for watching. Roger.